All right, good morning, everybody. Today we just got a couple tickers. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on in the market, but we've got OLB here looking pretty good, going from roughly $1.82 all the way up to, what is it, 246 here. Looking pretty good. These bands are opening up pretty wide. This might run on open, so we want to be pretty careful with this and look to get in pretty quickly if it does start to run. We've got B-Way here starting at around $4.59 all the way up to about 640. Currently sitting around that 540 area, so we're not too high up on this, but we are above that 200 EMA currently, which is definitely a good sign. We might see it bounce from there. We've got Drug again for like, I don't know, a week and a bit now it's been running. Hey, good job, man. 270 to a high there, 341. Looks like it's evened out around that $3 price range. I expect to see this come back up above that 200 EMA, and maybe we can take a play off that. And then we've got BBY here going from $10.59 to a high there of almost $12. The range isn't super great on this, so I'm not really expecting to take a play on this unless there's extreme volatility. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. So that's basically what we're looking at for today. Hopefully some of the stuff starts to take off on open, or maybe we get a couple more tickers as we go along, because so far it's looking pretty slim. And other than that, we're just going to wait the next 30 seconds to see market open here. I don't want to take any positions pre-market just because it's a Monday. We don't really know what's going to happen. I'm expecting some things to drop here, so I'd rather just wait and see what opens up and what opens down. What was it, Camp? Camp might do something here as well. Not a lot of data to go off of, but could end up being good. BBY sitting right at that VWAP line right now. So we're seeing Drug hitting a nice little run here right before open. So we're going to start to look at taking a play on a Drug here. Going to go for $3 entry, go for 330, and then a 290 stop out. 290 is all the way down here. You could give it a little bit different parameters if you want. You could move a stop up to anywhere up to 294, I'd say. So that might save you a little bit there. We'll have to see if this actually can continue its run though or not. Just scrolling down on the ledger here. $3 right here. All right. So going back to OLB, we're seeing a lot of volatility here. It has come down quite a bit, down to 237. I would like to take a play on this. I do think that OLB is pretty risky with the volatility. So we're going to wait for a little bit of a support line here, which we're just hitting now at 233. So we're going to go 233, maybe to 250, and just a 227 stop. Maybe even a 228 stop. Now, you know what? We do want to give it a little bit more room here. So maybe we can get in lower than 233. Maybe we say 230 here. And then maybe we stick a stop at 222. We're going to give it 8 cents, which is a little bit more than we regularly would, but I think it's necessary with this one with the volatility. Sorry, if you're hearing weird noises in the background at any point, that would just be my dog. 230. All right, so we're hitting that 230 area. All right, so drugs still staying around that $3 mark. We saw it hit as low there as 299. Looks like it's moving back up to 304. We might see a push on this. B-Way also looking half decent here. Breaking through that 200 EMA, looking decent at best, I guess. The range isn't too great still, but 520 to 550-ish. Yeah, nothing too fantastic there. Camp not doing anything. BBBY is heading down. Drug at 308. Drug at 308. 310. Could take some profits at 310 since we got at $3. That's 10 cents profit. So taking some profit on drug 310. Okay. B-Way heading back down here. OLB Bounces off the VWAP there, back to 237 currently. Might come back here. I'm hoping that VWAP bounce holds. Yeah, not BBBY again. I know. I really don't want to play BBY unless we have to. Drugs at 320. Looking good there. We can take some more profits around 320. Taking some more profits around 320. Just making sure we're securing on the way up. I think we will probably hit a pullback from here. I don't know how big it'll be, so I want to make sure we get something out of it. We'll be back down to that 230 area. We did hit a high there, 236 from our entry there at around 230. That's not too bad. I would like to hit at least 238 before we even decide to take profits here. So we had a couple more cents to go. But we'll see if this holds here or continues back up. We are negative on that MACD by quite a bit so far, so I'm hoping this is already overextended and gonna head back up. Drug hit a high there, 234 or 324, sorry. Looking half decent. What else we got going on? We don't have a whole lot else. CFBI, that's an old ticker we can take a look at. CFBI. A little bit high on that price range, and the range itself is only like 10 cents, so that's really not something we're interested in playing. AREC. This one looks like it's going pretty hard. We could probably jump in on this. AREC. What's the range like, though? 290. We're currently at 305. Okay, so it's not actually a huge range here, so we're probably going to be looking for a tight price target. Let's try for a $3 entry. I know that's pretty far down there. We might not quite get $3. Might be 303 or something. We're going to go for a $3.10, and then we're going to go for like a 290. So we're just going to go for like a 1-on-1 or 1-for-1 ratio here. And we'll see if we can manage something with that. So our stop is going to be down there. We probably wouldn't hold down there. If it passes that 200 EMA, we'll likely cut. Drug still staying around that 320 area. Hit a high there, 324 still. Old on its way back up, 238, 240. We're going to take some profits here on Old. Taking some profits on Old. Around 240. So that's about 10 cents profit, depending where you got in. Drug here with a massive drop. This is a good area to buy back in on, and I want to take a whole nother position on Drug here. 295 if we can. Looking like maybe 296 would be the proper area here. We're gonna go for at least 320 on it. We'll give it 310 to start, but we'll probably run this up to 320 again. And then we're gonna go for maybe just a 290 stop again, because I really don't want to see this break into that new low. So we can have a pretty tight stop here. We'll use the same stop we had before. We're hoping for a recovery off of this 296 point. We're back up to $3 currently. All right, so we're hitting that $3 area on AREC. This is where we want to get in. All right, looking good there. We'll be into stop with the remainder after hitting 243. So hopefully you secured most of it there. Wasn't quite what we were aiming for with OLB, but you know what? It is what it is. That MACD has a sharp, or the VWAP has a very sharp turn to it. So I don't think we're going to touch it again quite yet. Maybe at 200 EMA we'll touch it. So we'd be looking maybe 216 there. Drugs back up to 304 currently from 296. Not too bad. Maybe we're about 10 cents up here. So I think this is a proper place to take some profits. So we're going to say taking some profits on Drug around 305. Maybe even a little bit higher. So remember, we still have that runner, a small runner on that first Drug trade, but we're nowhere near the amount of profit we want on it. So we might run it to stop if it drops, but we're securing profits on that second trade there. OLB looking like it does want to actually move back up. I like that. We're seeing some positive momentum there, so maybe we'll look at taking a position here shortly. Again, I don't know. I think we'd be looking maybe 219 to jump in on it. And then maybe a 2. I'd like to say 230 is a price target. We'll see if we can get there. And then maybe just a 2. We want to make sure it's below this. So we got 216, maybe 212 as a stop. So that's the parameters we're going to be looking for. Drug back down to 302. B-Way, it's moving, but it's not moving super great here. It's still got that like very small range. Nerve. All right, let's take a look at Nerve as well. 303 on AREC. Nerve has a possibility of being a play. Probably not right now. They are below that VWAP and 200 EMA and they're flipped. Not necessarily the best sign, but it's a possibility that we take a play on that soon. We did hit a low there, 220. That's basically where we were looking to get on old. And we're hoping to run this up at least to 330. We've got Drug on its way back up here, 305 again. We've got that resistance there. I think it got rejected last time, so it might get rejected again. Here you see kind of all over the place. Looking a little gappy, not really anything I particularly like about this anymore. Volume's really died out on it, so I think I want to just take a cut on this, maybe make a couple cents on it. Taking a cut on AREC, trying to get break even or better. So at 303, we made a little bit, at least enough to cover the fees, and that's all I really want out of that. We'll be hitting that 219 area. We hit as low as 217 there, so maybe you got even lower than that 219 entry. In any case, our stop loss on this is going to be about 212. Whoops, not 211. 212. We're hoping for that 200 EMA bounce. I think we'll get it. This is quite a sharp drop. I wouldn't expect it to drop any further, but I mean, knives are always possible, especially when you see something like this. There's so many sellers stacking up here, so we'll have to see. It's worth a shot though. Drug still hovering around $3. Has yet to break through that 304 resistance line, so that's kind of an issue. DNN, and we can take a look at a couple of these here. We got DNN, and DNN's looking pretty good here, running up from $1.20 to $1.30. Huge jump there. Probably a little high to get in on right this second. And STBX. Yep, this one's looking good too. We got $5 all the way up to $7 currently, again running up. OLB 220 currently. Drug staying around $3 still. We've got BBBY. I'm not really too interested in watching that. I'm not too interested in watching AREC. Nerve is doing okay. I'm still waiting for that VWAP to flip with the 200. It looks like it's going. Yeah, it's lots of momentum actually right there. I don't know if it's going to break higher though. Definitely it would be risky to jump in here on the assumption it's going to break higher. DNN, this could just continue its run. I feel like it is very overextended right now. I do kind of want to give it a shot though. This could be something that just keeps running. So I'm going to go for a $1.30 entry. I want to hit a $1.40 out of it and then a dollar, I don't know, 27 stop. If you can get a little lower, even better. There you go. It looks a little overextended to me, but again, with momentum plays, they always look a little overextended. So we're hoping this does continue to run after hitting $1.30 there. STBX kind of wicking out at the top right now, not really looking that great. But I don't know, this one looked kind of like a reversal candle to me. We may see this head down. AREC 306, BBBY. Looks like it might curl up here. This could be a good play if you're someone who wants to play BBBY. I'm not really too into it. I feel like I always lose on it. The range is a little bit better down here. We have a lot of room to move back up, but even then you're looking at like 50 cents, which really isn't a whole lot. Nerve does break higher. So with that break higher, that's definitely a good sign. We could try a Nerve play as well. So we're looking at probably getting in around 1040. The range is still like kind of meh on this too. I don't really like this price. You know what? I'm just going to stay out of it. I don't really like this price range. I mean, like even if we hit here at 11:30 from 10, that's not a huge run. And drug broke down pretty dramatically after getting rejected so many times there. So it's a good thing we secured some profits at 305. If it hits this bottom area, I think there could be a chance at a recovery. So I kind of want to take another drug play. About 275 if we could get in there. I'd be looking at running it back up to at least $3. And then probably just a 270 stop. I don't think we necessarily need much more than that. Even if you could get a little lower than 275, because our support there is 272, to give it a little bit more room, so maybe 273, and then a 268 stop would be probably best case scenario. So that's gonna move our stop down to 268 there. So we're working off the premise here that we're gonna hit this bottom here and probably bounce off. And it looks like we just about hit it, so it should technically bounce here. OLB looking like it's probably going to follow suit and break down as well. So if you're still holding OLB and you didn't take any profits when we moved up a little bit, you're likely to stop out here unless you cut early. Let's see what happens. Drug all the way back up to 284 already, so that's looking good. $286. DNN. Yeah, DNN moved down to that $1.30 mark, hits $1.32. I think we're hitting resistance here. We have tons and tons of buyers, though. It's showing so many buyers at that 131 level. I think it's going to break out. It's kind of weird that it's just kind of sitting there doing nothing. Drugs, yeah, drugs at the low a day, yeah. 278, that's a good price to get in at. I agree with that. DNN still sitting. We need to break that 132 and we might see a run here. STBX looks like it wants to head down. We'll be breaking down into stop. So like I said, if you didn't take that cut or you didn't take any profits earlier, you might want to cut early. It is hitting that stop. We have lots of room to move down still. So I would say at least till 205. Drug, I'm hoping for a little bit more out of this. Although honestly, securing a 285, 286, not a bad idea. Take some off the table. I think I'm going to do that. $286, 287, something like that. Get 286 there a couple times. Not quite 10 cents by any means, but I think it's gonna get there. We'll be still sticking around that stop line. It's like it's using that as an area of support, which is weird. DNN finally breaks through, hits 133. We still have 800 buyers there, so this is just looking to run. I don't think it's got. We'd have to find a lot of sellers real quick and at the same time to really push this down. So STBX still looks like it wants to go for it. Looks like it consolidated and continued running, so I think we're going to open up an STBX position as well. STBX. We're going to go for probably about 710 here. 770. That's a PT. And then maybe just a 690 stop. We're going to give it 20 cents. Where does 690 leave us? That leaves us just at the bottom here. Honestly, I'd like 685 at the very least. Kind of a bigger stop than I would like, but I think that's actually really necessary. But we can get in much lower here. We're almost at $7, so keep that in mind. We could actually move that stop down. STBX. Yeah, if we can get $7, we can move that stop down a little bit, and we'll be pretty safe here. I'd like best case scenario, we want to get that stop below the VWAP line, so 665 would be best, but that's pretty far down from $7. We're looking at 25 cents. More, 35 cents. Wait, 25 cents? 25 cents. Brain's not on today. In any case, it looks like we dropped down to just about $7 there, so I mean, I would say 680 then. I wouldn't really think we could give it more than that, and I think that's going to have to probably suffice. So that might be okay. Drug with a nice run up here to 294. We can secure a little bit more there. Securing more profit on drug, 294. Nice run up. Very good recovery play so far. What else we got going on here? Ulp still sitting at 215. We got drug 292 currently. We've got nerve coming back down. Yeah, good thing we didn't buy in at anywhere around here because it looks like it barely made it any higher. DNN back down to 132 here. We hit 133. Still have tons of buyers. We're starting to get eaten up by the sellers slowly, but man, I really want to hit that 140 right there. 134. We're hitting a new high again, so we're pushing. Eric ran it. I mean, it did hit our PT. It went up to 314 here. So if you didn't completely close out your position here, it's looking like you're probably in a decent amount of profit right now. Something up on the tracker there. 313, 314, something like that. STBX on its way back down a little bit here, 690. If you were waiting for an entry on STBX, this is probably the prime area. If it drops lower than that VWAP. So if you're getting in here at 690, stop loss is going to be maybe 670. You're going to give it about 20 cents. You could give it 25 cents if you really want to, but I don't think it's going to be completely necessary. What was my drug entry? 279. Yeah, drug with a nice run up there to 294. Looks like it's coming back down a little bit. Now, is this a consolidation before another run, or is this a dead cat bounce? That's to be determined. We're going to have to wait and see for that. DNN back down a little bit after hitting a 134. We got a 130 entry. 134 is not really too much in terms of profit, but I think that with how slow this is actually moving, we do want to secure at least a little bit here. So secure some profit. DNN 134. And hopefully we do see this run up, but in the off chance it doesn't, well, at least we've secured something. We've got STBX looking like it's going to bounce off that VWAP nicely here, start to move up. At least we can hope here that it does. Eric at 315, it's still going. The drug kind of not looking too great, but we haven't dropped further, and that MACD still pointed up, so that's definitely good signs. Let's see, anything else? We got SNTG, so we're going to get rid of BBBY because it's really not doing anything. SNTG, like I said, probably could buy right now, but not for me. 280 all the way up to 380, so we've got quite a bit of range here. Very, very good range. Now, the question is volume going to hold, and are we going to see this push higher? I'm not entirely convinced on that yet. There's CMRX as well. We're going to get rid of Nerve here because, again, we're at that $10 range. I really don't like that. CMRX 223 to 240, so good range again. Decent range, 230 to 240-ish. This one might be another possibility of a play here. We do have that MACD sort of turned down right now, so we don't really necessarily want to touch it right this second. I want to see that start to curl up a little bit more. 375 on STBX. We're going to be stopping out on that. Or 675, sorry. Definitely not 375. We'd be pretty in the red at that point. DNN down to 131, so that's not looking fantastic. It does look like it's topping out. We do have a lot of sellers stepping up now, so that's not a good sign. So it's a good thing we took some profits. CMRX did drop down to about 230 there. Drug back up pretty high. Nice little bump to 293. Pushing its way to that resistance line at 296. Not really a place to take some more profits, but if you wanted to be out of this position, 296 would be probably the goal. CMRX looking like it is going to make a push here. I think we do want to probably jump in on this. So we're going to go CMRX. Looks like it's already running though. 240. We're going to go for 260 and then a 230. 230s. It's got to be 230. I know it's a big stop, but it's kind of got to be that far. So we're going to go with a 230 stop from 240. You definitely don't want anything higher than a 235 stop. So if you have to get a 235 stop, definitely keep that in mind that you don't want higher than that. But we'll see how far this goes. Oh, yeah, I got a pretty high entry there. We'll see. Drug yet to break through that resistance. OLB does look like it's turning around MACDs. However, MACD does look like it might break positive here, but that's quite a bit of MACD movement for almost no price gain. So that's something that kind of keeps me away a little bit. STBX is breaking into that negative threshold on MACD there. So this could be a bad sign unless we see a retracement. If we see a retracement, maybe we jump back in and we can see a decent recovery out of it. AREC 320, right? 320 on it. SNTG, nice recovery as well on that. It's up pretty high currently. Looks like it could hit the 385 here pretty quick again. Man, we have a lot of things that are running in like really weird patterns, and it's kind of tripping me out. We're at 253, got at 242-ish on CMRX. CMRX, yeah. So it looks like we're doing pretty good. Almost at 260 there, so that's PT. PT, CMRX, and taking some profits. So even though we're a little high on that entry, we still hit that PT. Looking good. Took most of it out. We're gonna leave a runner though, because this is obviously gonna go higher. Drug on its way down a little bit. We've got OLB here not really doing anything. DNN still at 132 here. STBX, MACD still not negative. Eric at 320. So if you didn't secure earlier, you could secure now if you're still in it. We were going for like no volume earlier, but it looks real good now. So looks like it could probably keep going. I think it's probably due for a pullback. That MACD is almost the same level it was before. So I think it's due for a pullback here soon. SNTG, man, I want to jump in on this, but we'd be basically banking on getting into a new high here while MACD is pointed down, which is not really ideal. That's okay. There'll be others. You don't have to get every play. This is, at the end of the day, this is a numbers game, right? So the way I play it is basically you just, anything that looks good, you take it, you have good risk management, and then you just kind of wait. Eventually you hit the good one. DNN looking decent. Honestly, it looks like it might move back up here, so who knows? Maybe we'll see some more profits out of this. Anyways, what was our stop loss on this? Because I didn't actually put it in for whatever reason. 127. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. There we go. CMRX down a little bit, but we did hit as high as 261 there. STBX, you know what? It does look like it wants to curl. This could be a risky play, but we are almost at the bottom of that band there. So I'm going to try another STBX play. I'm going to go for a 660 entry. Maybe even lower. Maybe we'll go for like a 655 entry if we can. We're going to aim for like 690 at least. And then we're going to go for a 630, 635. Let's give it a 640 stop loss. I really don't think we want to see it any lower. I don't know. I mean, like you might get even a lower entry here. 653, almost a 650. If we hit 650, okay, so we're gonna hit 650. So we'll go for a 6. Wow, we're going for a massive drop here. Okay, 630 then. We'll go for a 630 stop. I'm gonna jump in right now. STBX. The longer I talk, the lower it drops, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, want to get in at some point here. Going down to 645 there is definitely good enough. All right, let's see that move back up now. 630 should be a fairly safe place for this unless it's just going to continue dropping, in which case we'll just be out. SNTG with a nice drop. Maybe we'll see a VWAP bounce here. That could be a possibility. Drug almost at $3 here. So we're seeing, yeah, actually did touch $3. So not bad on drug. We are hitting that PT now. Drug taking some more profits. We're going to leave a little bit in there just in case we happen to make our way back up to 320. I don't think we're necessarily going to get that high, but you know what? $3 is not bad. I think that's a big possibility that we could see some more movement out of that. CMRX, also going back up. We're still sitting up really high on this. I do think that it's likely to come back down at this point, but we'll have to wait and see. DNN back up to that 133 mark. STBX looks like it might recover a little bit here. We're at 655 from our 645 entry. AREC 325. This thing will not stop climbing. SNTG does not bounce off VWAP yet. It looks like it might be breaking through. Interesting. Where did I get in on DNN? 130. You've completely forgot about AREC. Yeah, it's nice when you forget about something like that. It's almost at 330 here. Unfortunately, I was kind of dumb and I cut most of it early on, so I left a little bit in just in case, and you know what? It looks like it's paying off, but I wish I had just held the whole thing and I didn't chicken out because of the lack of volume. But we still made a little bit, so can't really. It's not bad. Drug is back down to 294, broke through that support line, so that's not necessarily a good sign. There was like a small chance of this one up. Unfortunately, the small chance, well, I mean, maybe fortunately, depending on the situation, but that small chance ended up actually being the case here. We hit like right here and we saw like no price action. There was no volume for like a solid 5 minutes. It's like, okay, that's definitely usually a warning sign to get out, but you know, our stop was so low too, though, that we could have probably just held and it would have been totally fine. I really don't think I was expecting that stock to really ever hit that in the next hour, so would have been great to just hold on to all of it. Where's STBX stop? So very, very close to where we're at. We're at 630 for the stop. We're hoping for that turnaround. That MACD is still extending downwards though, so we're likely going to stop out. So if you want to take a smaller stop, I think here would be a good time. I think it's very likely to hit it in the next couple seconds. Literally 3 cents shy here. 2 cents shy. There it is. So if you didn't take a slightly, higher exit, you're stopping out. So we're going to go STBX. Yes, that makes sense. Drug on its way up again. It's not really respecting this line at all, which is kind of weird to me. Maybe it's just not. Maybe it's poorly drawn. Maybe it's supposed to be, looks to me like it should be right here, or maybe even a little bit like right there. We'll move it there because that, you know what, that holds okay on pre-market values as well. So that should be okay. I think that's probably the proper line. CMRX is down a little bit. We have DNN still at 131 there, hitting 130 at entry. Yeah, it hasn't really moved at all. STBX still is yet to turn around. That actually looks like it's starting to curl, but yeah, nothing great there. SNTG is still kind of giving up. We don't really have much in terms of open positions right now, at least not full ones. We do have AHI popping up as well, which is weird because I haven't seen that one in forever. That's a dollar. Went from 83 cents to $1.09 there. That was a massive jump. I want to kind of jump in on this, I think, as a momentum play. Kind of struggling to make it happen, though. I'm not really too keen on it because this is looking really risky. Like a fast stop out could happen here, but maybe the $1.03. Oops, $1.03, a dollar stop out, and we're gonna go for $1.10. Oh man, yeah, see that drop? Okay, so let's rearrange here. Let's go 0.99 entry. We're gonna go for $1.10 still, and just a 0.96 stop. We're gonna hope that that holds. Kind of hard to believe that this is just something that's gonna. Never mind. I spoke too soon. We just ran into a halt. I didn't even get to finish my sentence that time, and we were already up into a halt there. So, you know what? I guess not necessarily a bad thing, but I wasn't expecting it to move that fast, that's for sure. And I would have really liked to have taken some profits there because I have no idea where this is going to open. Yeah, that's not necessarily something I wanted to happen right away anyway. I would have liked to have scaled out a little bit. So we're at 0.96 for a stop. If we hit the stop on the way down because it halted, I'm going to be really upset. Drugs looking good still. CMRX is looking okay. DNN breaking down. So if you're still holding on to DNN, this is looking like a pretty good time to maybe cut. STBX continues to drop. Eric is now having its pullback, which we were kind of talking about happening. MACD's almost down to 0, which is honestly a really good thing here. We could take another full play on this. This might be a good opportunity, actually. So I'm going to go Eric. 318. We're going to go for a 330 at least. And then we're going to go for a maybe just a 308 stop. We're going to go 308 stop. That gives us some room on that VWAP line in case we do head down. All right, so let's take a look at what we're sitting at currently on AHI. So from 0.99, whoops, that's not what I want to do. What's that, 14%? Something like that. 15.15%. So there's a good chance that this probably does unhalt and continue up. But we got to kind of be ready for it because it could unhalt and end up moving back down very, very quickly. STBX curling, yeah, it definitely looks like that. MACD's curling, volume is holding. I've been burned twice on STBX, I think. First time, yep, and second time. So maybe third time's a charm here. We could try the turnaround on this. I mean, the price range, 612. It's okay if we get back up to this level here, like 680. We'll be making decent money off it, but anything shy of that, and I'm not really sure. I don't know if I want to do that. SNTG all the way up to $4 here, bounced dramatically. So that's a lot of momentum, lots of momentum coming up. So we want to try and jump in on this, probably at a lower price, SNTG, if we can get it. So like, I mean, $4 max, but we need to get in. And then 440, we'll give it like a 390 stop. We're gonna give it a fairly tight stop because I don't think I don't want to risk a huge amount on this. This is the stuff where the YouTube stuff will not suffice when you have to jump in quickly on things. 395 at the low there, so hopefully got a decent entry. I got a half decent one. I'm gonna move this down a couple cents because I got in 397, so we'll go 387. We'll give it 10 cents. All right, so we're 412. You know what? We're actually up a little bit here, so I'm going to take some profit. Profits, SNTG, 412-ish. Because that's already not too terrible. I do expect a lot more out of this, but at the same time, we're in a really risky position with a tight stop, so I want to make sure that we are actually securing some. Eric at 320 again. And then we want to watch AHI for that open, so we're gonna have to kind of pay attention to that as well. You could probably set orders if you want to take profit somewhere. I mean, this could gap up a little bit. It could be like 120 at open, so you need to give it a little bit of room, especially if you want to trigger buys or sells. SNTG down a little bit here to $4 again. I don't want to stop out on the remainder here. I'd much rather see this go back up into some decent profit. We saw it hit a high there, 420. I think it could probably go higher. MACD's looking like it wants to curl. We are seeing a little bit of a gap here with spread, 13 cents in max here. So that could be a little bit of an issue. We're seeing buyers kind of stepping back here. Yep. There's the stop out on the remainder. Yeah, SMTG was starting to get a little bit of a crazy spread here. We're seeing some areas where it's only a couple cents and then some areas where it's huge. So got to be careful, but I do want to take another entry here around that 385 area. SMTG 385. We're going to go for 410 at least. And then just the 375 stop. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to give it 10 cents. Again, we have a decent chance here just stopping out, but you know what? We'll see what happens. just make sure that if you're market buying, you're hitting an area with not so much spread. Like right now, 5 cents, now it's 2 cents. At some point, it was like 13 cents, so got to be careful with that. And that 13 cents is definitely going to matter on a $4 stock. AHI opens up down, or opens up and then heads down. So hopefully you got to secure some profits on that. I said it was going to open up around that 120 area. Opened up a little bit higher than I anticipated. Either way should have triggered some sells. Hopefully you got out on quite a bit of it. I still have a runner. I think I probably should have closed out more. I mean, I could close out more here, but now it's looking good. So why close it all out, right? We're back up to that 120, 125, 130 area. No, is that okay? I was gonna say, is that another halt already? I don't think that should be a halt already. 130 is not a terrible place to secure some more profits if you still have quite a bit. It looks like it might head up higher here, so Nerve's finally going. I'll open up Nerve again. Yeah, Nerve's finally breaking out a little bit here from 1040 to 1150. So now you have a decent range. If you got in at the bottom of this candle to the top of it, good range there. Hit 130 on AHI. Ah, man, it's like it's such a different world though. You know, you're looking at Nerve and you're like, oh yeah, this candle's like, what, 5%? And then you look at AHI and we're up 30% on it. This is why I hate playing $10 stocks. It's just never the same. Unless you get like DNN here, which is literally like not doing anything the whole time, even though it had tons of buyers. Now it's got tons of sellers here. It's still not pushing it down or up. Man, this is like all over the place. We saw 134. Yeah, definitely safer. You're right with that. AHI is kind of like the Wild West here. 131, 132. If we hit 140, another good place to secure a little bit of profit. We might be pushing our luck here, but we're gonna see. 134 again, we're hitting a new high here, 136. Spread's not bad, so you can get out anywhere here if you need to. 137, pushing for a new high. 140 right around the corner. Come on. That's not a halt. That's a halt. Oh man, we didn't even hit 140. Oh well. We'll have to see when I think it's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna unhalt up and move down quickly, so we'll have to wait and watch for that. Buy orders in place and stuff. SNTG all over the place. So hopefully you got some more money out of that. You don't like halts? Yeah, I don't. I usually like halts, but on something like this, it's like it's already up a crazy amount, right? Because like we got in at 0.99 and it's all the way up here at 137. That's literally like 38%. So it's hard to justify something running even further, like because whenever something's starting to move up even more, that means that people are still jumping in and buying. Now, who's the crazy guy that's buying it at 137 right now? That's nuts to me. That seems like a Ross Cameron kind of thing. SNTG down pretty bad. We definitely hit stop here. So maybe you secured some profits. We did hit a high there of 414, but it has moved down way past that stop. Yeah, it's and he'll probably average down, lose like 60 grand on it. Just making sure I'm ledgering everything because I got kind of excited there and forgot to ledger things, so that kind of an issue. Okay, let's see here. STBX looking okay. Eric is up to 322. That's another one I forgot we were totally in on. But it hasn't really moved him up to 323 there. So honestly, didn't miss out on a whole lot there. Nerve looking like it's probably going to head back down. The MACD's starting to curl. We do see it overextending. Buying volume probably getting exhausted here. On Sting, we could take a look at Sting. I'm going to close down DNN. I don't think we're going to play this again. Sting, Oh, STNG. STNG. There we go. Well, I mean, yeah, it's not looking too... For an options play, I could see this being good. It's funny that this looks like ridiculous volatility on like a $40 stock. Oh, SNTG. There we go. That's what you're talking about. I got it. SNTG. All good. Yeah, the volatility is ridiculous on this. Sting, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, SNTG, this is looking like a good buy anywhere around this 330 level. Even at 350 it might be okay, but with this volatility, you got to keep in mind that you could stop out down here if you buy in right here. So like it's kind of risky. More than kind of, I guess. We're back low on 280, 285 on drug here. So, I mean, this could be another opportunity for a buy-in. I think it is eventually going to move up. That MACD does look like it's curling. It could go for another run back up to $3. I think at 285, I'm looking to buy again. 285, let's go for $3 PT, and then a 2, maybe just a, I don't want to go too much lower than 280, I don't think. In fact, I think 280 is probably my limit. I don't want to give it too much room. So we'll see what happens with that. CMRX is still bouncing around. Where did we get in on CMRX? I can't even remember now. 242. Okay, so we got like a little bit of room here. I don't think we're going to drop that far, but you never really know. SNTGs still looks like it's going to move up here. AHI's, you know, halted still, so hopefully that unhalts soon and we make some killer money on that because that would be great. What's the volume sitting at on these candles here? Probably pretty crazy. Yeah, 1 million. We're seeing 1 million there. A couple 100,000 on the last couple candles running into the halt. So we started to see a little bit less volume on the halt here, but hopefully that's not too bad. Eric back to 323 here. CMRX 250. Drug 286. Looking okay. It's doing okay. STBX is popping back. Yeah. Yeah, this looks like a little bit slower of a play. I think it burned me enough times, I just don't want to play it again. Eric, we're almost at the point where we're making profit now. All right, cool. We're making profit. 327. Or 326 there. I would like to take profit at 330. What's a good PT for STBX? I think you're probably going to run into some resistance here at 667, so I think that's probably a good place to try and take some profits. I wouldn't take it all out. I would take majority out and then leave a runner for up to maybe like $7. Drug is looking all right. Not like super confident in this. Now MACD is still pointed up, which is good. Volume's a little bit lower than I'd like though. Okay, so we broke into the 327 area on Eric. Honestly, I think I'm going to take a little bit of profit. I might be like sort of chickening out on Eric again. Taking some profit. Eric, 327. I just kind of want to be safe. HI on halt. So we did see it on halt at 141 there. So that's that 140 area we were talking about. It looks like it's coming back down to 122. So hopefully you did secure some more around that 140 area. If not, we're down to VWAP here, which is, you know, we still got a far ways down to go before we stop out on our runner here, but yeah, still looking pretty risky. We'll see if this can bounce back like it did before, though. That would be awesome. I'd like to hit at least 150 before I cash out completely, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. SNTG back down, so that's that volatility I was talking about. If you bought in here at 360, 345, you'd probably be looking to, you're getting pretty close to a stop out, at least. Drug, we're down a cent on it so far. We've got a tight stop, so I'm not incredibly worried about it, but I would actually like to see this start making some moves up, which we're not seeing quite yet. AHI still holding at this level, so not too bad, but let's see if it can hold. If it breaks down from VWAP, I would just be looking to cut the remainder anyway. I don't think we need to hold anything past that. GCT, we could take a look at that as well. What are we not playing here? B-Way, we haven't played this at all, so. GCT, we're going from 1790 to a high there, 22. So there's a little bit of volatility there. Not really the price range I like playing, so I probably won't touch it. But I mean, I could see this being a decent play. I think that it's breaking down a little bit here. I would say if it holds at VWAP, it might be a decent play to get into. But if it breaks down from there, I would just leave it be. Eric down. So we did hit that 327 area, took some profits, and it's back down to our entry point. So you know what? Good on us. We chickened out a little bit there, but it ended up paying off. SNTG's back up to that 360 area after hitting 345. I think this is going to be a big winner. It's just a matter of getting a good entry on it and hoping to God it doesn't drop any further. So SNTG, let's go for a 345 entry, I guess. I don't know. Let's try for at least 370 on it. And then a 335 stop. Does that save us? Just barely. Just barely. You know what? I don't want us to break into a new low though, so I kind of like that idea. Just 10 cents. HI still holding these are reversal candle showing, so it might actually see the start moving back up from here. So you could actually, I might actually risk this as a, I'm going to go ahead and get another position here near VWAP if I can. I don't really want it to break much lower than 120. 120, I'm going to go for 140. Huge PT. And then just like a 1. Man, we need a lot of room here though. Give it a 115. It's a risky play. It's definitely a risky play. So if you don't want to, if you're teetering on profits right now, this is probably not the play to put you in the green. I mean, it very well could be, but it could also be the thing that tips you into the red pretty easily too. So keep that in mind. Drug, we saw a crazy move back up to 294. We're going to take some profits. Want to hit about 295-ish for that. SMTG is getting close to entry. AHI gives us an entry around 117 there at the very best. And it's moved back up to 125. I'm going to secure some profits because obviously this is not a safe play. So securing some profits on AHI 125, 125, because that's still decent profits. Even if you gone 120 and out at 125, that's still okay. If you gone lower than 120 and out at 125, even better. I think it even hit higher than 125. Yeah, it hit 126. So we're gonna see. Maybe this stops us out. We definitely don't have our stop at 0.96. They were at we're looking at a 115 stop on the remainder now. So maybe that happens. But you know what? I'm happy with the profits I've made on it. Even if it was just a little bit, that was a really risky play. So when you walk away with a little bit on something like that, it's definitely not a bad thing. 293 on drug here. We're getting very close. So 295, just like that. And take some profits. You keep taking the losing plays. Yeah, you kind of it takes some time. You gotta. It's one of those things where you have to try and take as many as possible, and it's hard early on if you're just starting out with day trading, because a lot of people are only used to taking like one play at a time max. Looks like we're gonna stop out on the runner of AHI here. But I mean, as you get a little more proficient and you're better at watching charts, and especially if you've got more screens to watch those charts, you can quite easily take 2 or 3 plays. It's definitely a probability game because obviously none of us are fortune tellers or mind readers, so we don't actually know what's going to happen. We're just basing it off like a little bit of empirical evidence and, you know, hoping for the best on some of these stocks like AHI. We know this is a risky play, but there's a chance, right? It's like playing in the casino, but the bet is hedged in your favor instead of against you, especially if you kind of know what you're doing. 117. Yeah, I think this is going to stop us out on our runner, but that was kind of a bullish candle right there, even though it was red, so you never really know. This could move back up. SNTG looking decent here. Did hit a low there of 345 or 346, so very, very close to where we want it to be. The range we've been playing on SNTG is just nuts. Like our first entry on SNTG, where is it? Was almost $4. Then it was 385, and then this one's 345. Drug did hit 3, yeah. Yeah, so we did hit 3. Well, 299, yeah. I was gonna say not quite 3, but almost 3. I hate when it does that because, you know, I'm looking for $3 on it, so can't technically call a PT on that. We didn't hit the PT. AHI breaks down just as low. We're seeing some pressure pushing it back up right now, though, so we're like within a cent of stopping off on this sometimes. Olb was doing absolutely nothing. We're going to close down Olb. We're not going to play GCT. STBX, like long term, could be a winner, but I'm not playing that. Nerve, again, you know, the range is pretty slim. Price range I'm not really liking, so we're not going to play that. Just cleaning up the charts here. CMRX, we still have a runner in it, so we're still holding this. What did we cash out last time? CMRX 260. So yeah, right at the top there, right near the top. So hopefully we can cash out the rest of 260 or higher. This is looking pretty good. I wouldn't say it's fantastic by any means. I think that if you are worried about it or you just want to close it out, now it's probably a good time. HI is stopping us out. So we're really CMRX, that's a play we're in. We're also in AREC with a runner. And drug with the runner. We were in HI, that stopped us out. SNTG is looking good. We still have the whole play there. We're almost at 360 from 346, so that's honestly not too bad. I kind of want to take some profits, and we'll do that right now. Just to make sure we have a little bit of profit here. We'll see what that has in store for us. AHI looks like it's breaking back above. Oh, it's just gonna retrace and bounce off that zero line, isn't it? We're gonna have to wait and see here. It totally is. It totally is. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time because we did make money. It's just I hate that we stopped out on there. So like 117. We're gonna go for like a 125 again with a 115 stop again. Yeah, you know what? I kind of want to give a 114 stop. We'll give it at least 3 cents. I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference, but we'll see. Maybe we'll even get a little lower here. That would be great. Come on, 117. Not going to give it to us. There it is. Okay. Now let's see this move back up. 113 for the rest of us? Yeah, no kidding. Well, I mean, you know, like, yeah. Yeah. I mean, do what you will. I hope it doesn't hit 114 either way, but you might be right. 113 could save you. SNTG back down a little bit, so it's looking like a good thing we secured some profit. AREC not really giving us anything. CMRX also not really giving us much, and drug back down to basically our entry. In fact, it dipped down even further, down to 282, so you're 2 cents shy of a stop out on that runner. AHI still struggling. If I see this break down on that MACD, might be thinking about taking a cut before we hit stop. I don't want to hit that 3% stop for no reason. Yeah, there we go. They're looking like it's dipping a little bit below. Oh, and we're tracing. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. We're too close. It's going to stop us out by the time we see the dip anyway, I think. Like, look at that. It keeps breaking through and then retracing back over and over. Ah, dude, we're so close. Come on, just make that push. Just need like a couple more buyers to step in here. As soon as we break 120, this thing should fly. 119. There's 120. Come on, break it. Anytime now would be great. The rejection over 3 times at 120, that's not a good thing. Gonna take some out at 120, I think, just to try and be safe. We'll see if we can get that. Looking risky. Come on. Just touching at 114. That brings our average down a little bit. Okay, well, we walked away with a slight green. Well, that's not the end of the world, I guess, but going to be closing out SNTG here. It's looking a little spotty. Volume's pretty low. AREC is not doing anything, and we're basically out of time, so I'm going to close that down too. Same with CMRX and Drug here. Drug's still good. I think there's still a possibility of a play here. Volume still looks pretty strong, so 285 as an entry is good. Hitting that $3 mark would be great. CMRX, I mean, you could play it as a VWAP bounce here at 246. The price range is pretty slim right now, so I wouldn't really necessarily be aiming at that or AREC. I think AHI definitely could go for another run here. Not necessarily right this second. I think it could take some time, but you know what? It is what it is. It looks pretty good. And SNTG, it's got the volatility. The volume's pretty low right now. That could pick back up at any time, so that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. And then, you know, you guys got your Nerve and GCTs and whatever other $10 stocks you guys want to play. Then we'll go over the trade tracker here. So we made $754,000 today. That puts us up over $2 million for the month, over $500 start. Win rate back up to 75%. So we're going to be closing out the month probably at 75%, unless tomorrow's like absolutely terrible. Wait, no, we got 2 days, don't we? Yeah, we got Wednesday as well. So, I mean, if we have another day like today and we make good money, we could definitely be hitting 3 million on it, which would be pretty insane. That would be probably the highest gaining month in a while. The last time we did this, we were full porting into every trade, which was kind of nuts. And I didn't really like that. We're getting to the point where I don't really like doing half the port anyway either, but you know, it is what it is. We'll see how far we can get with it. Just have to watch the liquidity. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. And as far as percentage gains today, should be just over 100%, I think. 97%. Damn, so close. But if only AHI was actually a win there. STBX. Yeah, that was a crap stock. Hate it. Don't want to play it ever again. Putting it on the blacklist. But the rest of them were okay. I mean, DNN was kind of faking us out there. We still managed to make 3% off it. Other than that, yeah, I mean, I thought Drug was going to be better than it was, but we still managed to make almost 10% on Drug. Or no, yeah, we actually made quite a bit on Drug overall, because we took a couple little plays on it and it ended up working out. I honestly thought that last Drug play was a little bit bigger than 3.5%, but I guess not after averaging out and stuff. So but yeah, besides that, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Hey, still made money. See you guys.